Welcome to Madison HD Sportsnet, presented by the JMU Alumni Association. We're here with women's soccer head coach Dave Lombardo. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
First off, the regular season is well underway now with the JMU Invitational being played this past weekend. How are you feeling coming out of the weekend?
Yeah, it was a good overall weekend for us. We had talked before. We have a very mixed team right now. We have a little bit more than half are returning players, but even from those returning players, there's only a handful that have really had a strong influence in the program. Some of these kids are just starting to come into their own as juniors, and we also have 12 new players to try to introduce into what we're doing. And I thought overall what we've done through preseason and culminating with this past weekend was to try to bring these two groups together to develop some type of off the field and on the field chemistry, and I thought for the most part mission accomplished. Our offense right now is hard charging. We're scoring some goals and being very creative in the attacking half of the field. Up against a tough Georgetown team Friday night, we weren't as seasoned as we needed to be in the back, but we'll learn. We're young in the back. I think we started 2 freshmen and a sophomore who had limited minutes last year, so that's going to be a little bit of a work in progress.
Great. Well, yeah, as you mentioned, the scoring prowess this weekend was great. You had 8 goals in 2 games, including 5 different goal scorers this weekend. What does that say about your ability to score going forward?
Well, one of the things that we've really tried to punch home is, Ashley Herndon has been our key and main scorer the last couple of years, and obviously she's going to draw a fair amount of attention with that, and we've asked other players to step up and relieve some of that pressure, and she's going to draw some attention by getting some of their best markers, and that's fine as long as the other kids are able to step up and do what they need to do. The other thing that we've really talked about, we switched our system of play a little bit this year, and it gives us a little bit more unpredictability in the attacking half of the field. What we played before was fairly traditional roles of a right and left winger and a center forward. Now there's a little bit more freedom to kind of go wherever you need to go find the game, and they did a great job with that. Great,
and you also mentioned your newcomers this year. 2 freshmen ended up starting a couple games there, and several more were very heavily featured in the rotation.
Yeah, it's going to have to be that way. I mean, it's part of the learning process. We graduated the last 2 years, a lot of key players for us, and you like to say that each year you're going to just replace what you lost, but oftentimes there's a little bit of a rebuilding process that goes along with that. But some of these kids are unfazed. Haley Stein right now is playing a center back for us. She's from a personality standpoint, she's very unflappable back there. She kind of has already a maturity of somebody who's played at least a season or more under her belt. So we'll be looking for her to really kind of get settled in back there. And then we've got a couple of other kids. Christine Tack, I think, is a dynamic attacking player. Our midfield, we're playing both Stephanie Hendry and Chessa Ramirez in their different types of midfield players. Chessa's big, strong, athletic player. Stephanie Hendry is just a little wind-up toy. You wind her up, you let her go, and she just finds the ball. So we've got a lot of situations where those kids. Alex McGill has started as our right back for us. Very energetic player, likes to get up and down the flank. So I think our future bodes well. Not only future for this season, but I think on down the road with a lot of the key players that we have.
Great. Yeah. After a tough loss last Friday against Georgetown.
Yep.
Came back strong yesterday against Seton Hall. Had a clean sheet, no shots on goal for the Pirates.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough year for them. It's they're a little bit of a rebuilding phase right now. They play in the Big East, which is a pretty decent level of soccer. A lot of the Big East has changed recently because of the football teams have kind of migrated to, AAC? And then you've got mostly the basketball schools remaining as the Big East moniker. But there's still some pretty good teams in there. St. John's, Marquette, Georgetown, to name a couple. So they're going to have to battle. But I think we did what we needed to do, and we took care of business with them.
Great. And yeah, next up is a tough matchup with Virginia Tech next Friday. What is going to be the preparation for that game, and what are your feelings going into that matchup?
Oh, we're real excited about that. This is one of those cross-state rivalries where rankings and records don't really mean all that much. There's a lot of kids that could have played at either of those teams had they decided to go to those schools. So we have a lot of Northern Virginia kids or Virginia kids in general that know each other through the club process. So they may have been teammates before or rivals. That's going to continue. Virginia Tech we know is loaded. They're preseason, I think 11th in one poll and 12th or 13th in another. And I think that's deserved. They've got quality, they've got depth, they're athletic. It's going to be a hard task for us, but I think our kids will be excited about it.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and good luck this weekend.
Great. Thanks, Nate.